American Timelines is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. Find out more at queencitypodcastnetwork.com.
So now I'm obsessed with time. Come on, tell me about the time. Had it all in my hand tonight. Had the time of my life. When the words all come down like blues on Tuesdays gone down. Throw it all away. Throw it all away.
You got a Prince Albert on your penis?
Yeah, that was the
You're like,
girl.
and I was like, get it out. And you were in a kilt, and you did. And you got it out at the bar and put it on the table.
Still drinks beer, Gruff smokes weed, asking Facebook friends, who do you really be? High school mascots. It's the Friendcheck. Let's go deep and explore beyond the surface. What lies at our core? Are we just acquaintances or something more? Let's find out. Let's open the friendship door.
Well, I came up with this idea thinking about Friendcheck, and I love where Friendcheck's going. We got a comment recently. Somebody listened to it randomly and never listened to American Timelines or anything. Robert Stack. It might be the Robert Stack. It might not be.
But I
I'd
like
be a
to
fan.
think of it as, yeah.
But he said, hey, I just listened to this randomly, and you guys all sound like nice guys. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. And I was thinking about how Friendcheck is going, and it's cool. It's a lot of fun. And
people very like responding. The friends that you've had on are responding very positively.
they are, and they're nice people. And I love that I get to know these people. So what Friendcheck is, if you're just listening, is I've decided I have 1,400 plus, now it's up to 1,500, I guess, friends on Facebook.
Damn.
And I don't accept people I don't know. So I haven't met there's a few that I found that I'm like, I've never met this guy. How did I? Sometimes I get drunk and I accept friendships. Most of the time, 98%.
I've accepted a couple of friends accidentally.
You have accidentally, or you don't know. But 98% of the friends I have on Facebook, I think I've met before, and I've consciously thought there's a reason to be friends with this person, whatever. And I never thought about it. And then I started on Facebook in the 90s or
I don't
2000s.
think it was the 90s.
Probably
the
2000s.
90s. Yeah.
I don't know when it was.
I think the 90s was still GeoCities.
Yeah.
I think
early
GeoCities, MySpace.
Anyway, I was
I don't
new
want to
to
say
it all.
when I say accidentally, I don't want to say I regret any friends that I have.
That's true.
You know,
so
even
no
some of the
shade
friends
to
that have
anybody.
no shade. Even the ones that have done sketchy shit, because I've done sketchy shit.
But Facebook, to me and the Gruff here, Steve Bishop, who I've known forever, is different than Twitter and Instagram and Threads even now, and all the other ones where those you follow strangers and you're connected with strangers. LinkedIn, even strangers.
It's a lot of entertainment value.
Yeah, but I've always thought Facebook is people you really know.
It's homeroom.
And it's gotten to the point where people are requesting me that I've never met. And I'm like, I don't want to be, I want to know you. And then I realized now I'm to the point where I've got friends that I don't know that I remember who they are, or maybe we haven't met. So my idea with this is to go through everybody that I've now accumulated, stop accepting friends unless I know them for sure, alphabetically, and just be like, hey, will you jump on a quick podcast with me to like, let's be friends? Or I'm connecting with people. I connected with them once. Aaron Crane from middle school.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him since middle school. We connected on Facebook at one point. Like, yeah, we both know each other. Boom, now we're friends. But we never interact. Like, I don't see any of his posts. He doesn't see any of mine. Why is he one of 1,400? What's the point if we're not going to connect and talk? And I could go look up his page and say, hey, man, what's going on with you? Or I could make him get on a podcast and relive memories and talk about it.
Here's a question. Since that podcast, have you seen more of his shit in your stream?
Yes, I have. That's the thing. Once we connected and we talked.
Yeah.
The algorithm knows it somehow. It knows I interacted with him on Messenger to coordinate this, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now I see, but what I found is Aaron Crane, particularly, his wife seems to run his Facebook. Like they share one now. She got hers hacked, so she joined his, whatever. Now I see his kids and all this, and now I know who they are because he talked to us. I know he is a software guy and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it refreshes. So let's see if I can get through all 1,500. I'm finding a lot of people don't want to do it.
Right off the bat.
I don't want to. Yeah.
I'm not going to have much of a ripple effect on your stream.
Okay.
I don't
This
interact
won't have
that
a ripple
much.
effect, and that's not what this is. So this episode, the reason I'm doing this episode is I realized we've done however many now, 7, 8,
Something.
whatever friend checks. And I have Gruff as my co-host because it's fun to have a co-host. I have 2 people interviewing these people. I'm like, oh, and it's fun to introduce them into a new person. So it's sort of like the audience member that doesn't know this person is here live. So it makes me stay real and not jump into, not jump into mutual conversation. Let's not jump into inside information because here's somebody who doesn't know him, which was different for Aaron Crane because you did know him. But
I do.
It's a good thing to do. And Gruff here, I've known him forever, and he will go anywhere with me. I thought before we go any further with Friendcheck, let's have a quick episode with just us. So the audience, the listeners get to know you, even though you've co-hosted some American Timelines episodes.
Yeah, I'm that guy in the corner.
Weed being legalized. How long has it been legal in Ohio?
I smoke too much to know the exact date.
But it's recreational is legal, right? It's not
recreational legal, not just medicinal.
Just like Michigan. I saw some statistic like the money that Ohio has made on this has blown through the they knew it would be a lot, but they thought maybe not because you can already get in Michigan.
They're going to have trouble hiding it. Let's just say this. They're going to have trouble disappearing that money. It's not going to be as easy as the tobacco money back in the day, buddy.
I feel like it's been less than a week, right? Less than 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, it's only been since the beginning of the month.
It's very new. So where do you,
somebody
lifelong, like you've been smoking weed for a long time.
Not lifelong, you were there.
Yeah, that's true. Not lifelong, but you've already been established smoking for a long time. How has it changed your, do you now buy it legally or do you still buy it the same way?
I was assumed to be a smoker long before I was a smoker.
Yes.
I was by mostly non-smokers.
You are a stoner and weed is now legalized where you live and it wasn't until just recently. Have you changed where you purchase it?
No, I still get it the same way.
You still get the same way you did before?
Well, I mean, the way that I came across it before was sometimes as beautiful as someone stopping by, wherever I worked or wherever they saw me out on the street and handing me a can, saying, "Here you go, buddy," and walking away.
That's generally how you get it. Still,
like that. That's how I've gotten it in the past.
So so because you look like a guy that needs weed or should have more weed.
Sometimes it's just handed to me.
Yeah.
From a wonderful relative stranger.
Okay, I love that. Have you purchased any legally through?
Not yet. I haven't. I'm on vacation this week. I'm looking forward to scrounging up some cash and seeing we have 2 shops in town.
Okay.
Fun fact about Ohio.
Yeah.
We're so deserving of the slang. The town is a local rule, a home rule state. Much like in the early days of alcohol post-prohibition, some counties could remain dry, some towns could remain dry, some towns could remain, we don't sell it on Sunday.
Okay.
It was all town to town. This is fresh in my head because I was talking about Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
And your brother was wondering why would there have to be illegal runs of alcohol?
Right. Yeah.
And that was just the 70s.
Yeah, there were towns and stuff.
Yeah.
So still didn't do it. Yeah.
With weed, there are cities that have voted, city council votes have just straight up said, nope, not in our town.
Yeah, we're not.
And just refuse to acknowledge the recreational.
Yeah, we don't want to be cool. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we don't want to be cool. A lot of them express worry. It is. The towns that have said something, I've never been surprised.
Yeah.
I've never thought, really, them?
Yeah, actually, but your town is cool.
Well, our town, I would be surprised. I would be surprised just because there's money to be made.
Yeah. Money trumps being cool or whatever else or whatever. Well,
I mean, it's something that everyone seems to agree on.
So you can get it in BG.
Yeah.
But you haven't yet. Okay.
Well, I've gotten it in BG, just not at the stores.
But not through the legal.
I work normal business hours, and it's really I don't expect them to be open.
So you have purchased in Michigan and other dispensaries and places where it's legal now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I love that. Like there's a part of me that really like I'm wondering where Skymint's going to put their franchise.
Okay.
Like I'm wondering if there's going to be a Skymint franchise in Ohio because Skymint is pretty. I overuse the word, but bougie, but in a good way. I feel comfortable. It's nice. It's very nice.
Well, that's the thing. I'm here in North Carolina, and even though it's recreational, is not legal here, but there are CBD. There are CBD. Yeah. I don't even think medicinal is legal here, but there are CBD stores on every fucking block.
Yeah, dude.
That sell just CBD. Step one, dude. Doesn't get you high. Doesn't have THC. But everybody I know that buys anything from there is like, this fucks you up.
Oh, like, yeah,
CBD. Like this guy, I bought some cookies from the CBD store, and dude, it doesn't have THC, but I've gotten fucking higher on that than anything I've ever. So it's like, why does
felt the Death Star explode on the reissues?
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. Plus, there's this Delta 88.
Oh, fuck that! Whatever it is. That's a little too science for me, man.
I don't know. I just know people have done that, and like,
oh no, I know,
out of my mind. And it's the same. Like, so what? The whole thing is kind of moot to me anyway. It's like, what? Legal, not legal, whatever. Does it even matter anymore?
Well, we're hoping. I say we, like I have some acknowledgement of some knowledge of a movement. Yeah. I imagine that's the goal.
Yeah, to just make it like, who cares? Everybody smokes.
Yeah, just come on, man.
It's everywhere.
There's a beautiful time when no America different than
drinking. A lot of people that drink. And it's like, it's no worse than that. Okay, so back to the origin story of. So, those of you who
we grew up in a town.
Yeah, you may not have listened to the Gruff and Loud show, but we are the hosts of the Gruff and Loud show, which is another History for Jerks thing. So we run that show, and we did that during the pandemic. I'm still several years behind. I'm editing and putting out episodes that were recorded in 2021 maybe. Dude, I'm still working on it.
I mean, that's the joy of this is you have time to craft.
Yeah, make it. That's a different thing. It's a weird video show. Anyway, but Gruff and I, who is here now, and he's my co-host on the Friendcheck, that you may have heard him like, wait, who is this other guy? Who's this guy?
If you listen to Friendcheck.
Yeah, if you listen to Friendcheck. This episode is to
start
explain
with 9.
Who he is, why we're here.
Episode 9, Friendcheck. Start with this one.
I think this is this the 9th?
I don't. You said 8 earlier.
I think this is 8. I think there was
7. 8? 8's better. Nothing against 9.
I think
I like 9. I looked up
American timelines earlier.
It's a factor.
Yeah. The last one. No, this is number 8 because the last one was Friendcheck number 7, a pharma consultant who grew up on a farm. Anyway, this will be Friendcheck number 8. This will be the 8th episode.
Nice.
And we're gonna. It's like a backtrack. It's like a prequel because we're gonna explain to everybody who you are, Gruff, and why we're doing this together, and our origin story of friendship and how we became friends, and just a little background on what the shit, how we became who we are. And
we could, I mean, you were leaning into the town we grew up in.
Yeah.
The town of two sides.
We're from this weird small town called Northwood, Ohio.
1 by 7, 1 mile by 7 with a landfill in between.
Yeah. So 1 mile long or tall and 7 miles wide.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's like a strip. It's like Tennessee, sort of like a strip.
Yeah. Is the origin of its name is north of Wood County.
North of Wood County. It's the north part of Wood County. Ohio. Yeah. So and Wood County it's a suburb of Toledo.
Wood County is not a suburb of Toledo.
Wood County is not, but Northwood, I guess, is.
Well, I mean, Northwood is considered a suburb of Toledo by people in Wood County.
Yes.
And people in Lucas County and Toledo consider Northwood the edge of the farmland.
Yeah, when farmland ends and it gets to
beyond the casino, like once you cross the river, it's all farmland.
So when you go south from Toledo to Bowling Green, which some people
75.
Yeah, it's a Toledo Bowling Green arrivals. You go south, and Toledo's in Lucas County. Wood County is the next county down. It's a big rural farm area.
Ohio,
but we're at the top of it, which is right next to Toledo.
Yeah.
And the people from Toledo think Northwood is farm country, you farm boys, whatever. So we were called farm boys, and then we would play somebody else in football, and we play somebody else in the county, Wood County, and they'd be like, "You city boys from Northwood."
See, that's the thing.
We were called everything because we were surrounded by cornfields, but we were right outside of downtown Toledo. 5 minutes from downtown Toledo.
We're talking about one side of a two-sided town.
That's true.
Like our side was latched to Toledo. The other side was latched to Oregon.
Right. And Northwood was split in half by railroad tracks. And like we said, it's 1 mile tall and 7 miles wide with train tracks in the middle. The left side was by the city, by downtown Toledo. And there were
train tracks everywhere.
Known as the dirt side. The Lark School was the school, so it was called the Lark side. And we were the dirty, poor, worthless people, and the other side was the rich kids, the Alney side, privileged kids, which if you zoom out, anybody else outside of that area would be thinking you're all poor white trash.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
Us, there was rich kids and poor kids.
There's still the fight. They were all I blame S.E. Hinton.
Yeah.
I blame S.E. Hinton.
So we're from the dirt side, the rough side of a shitty
dark side
town where it's all.
You can sing the dark side to it.
Yeah, the dark side. So we're from the lark.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. Just adding.
But we were closer to East Toledo, which East Toledo is the shittiest part of Toledo, kind of like East St. Louis. But that's where we're from. Like we're East Toledo.
People tell me I smell like it.
Yeah. And Steve does not shower.
No, I just take on the scent of the land I'm in. I exude it as a focal
And there are several dumps in between the train tracks. There's like a dump, a train track, a dump, a train track.
Well, like I said, it's like there are train tracks everywhere, but there are like the landfills are right in between.
Yeah, we grew up in landfills.
We grew up just outside of landfills.
We smell like garbage. We are hot. We are white trash.
Beyond, it depends on which way the wind blows. Do we smell like garbage, industry, industrial garbage, or one of the refineries?
Now, that said, the neighborhoods we're from did create, and the time we grew up, we were both born in 76. And so we grew up
kids.
Yeah, so we graduated in 94. So we're this Gen X, we're the young Gen X.
Not as young as the 80 kids.
No, but we're old. We're not millennials, but we're the younger end of the Gen X. But we grew up in a time where our neighborhoods were like Stranger Things. Like we're growing up riding around bikes.
Yeah, like that's why I haven't watched it. I don't need to watch it to know I'd like it.
Yeah, streetlights come on, you come home, that kind of shit. And it was like we drank from the hose, all that stuff. But we also had neighborhoods, like you knew, and the school was so small, 89 kids in our graduating class. So you knew every kid that you graduated with you from when we were in kindergarten, basically, because rarely people moved in and out.
6th grade, those were the two big years.
So there's 2 elementary schools. So you're with the same people K through 5, and when you get to 6th grade, then the schools unite into middle school, and then you know everybody else from then 6 through 12.
Oh yeah,
and rarely people move, and some people left, some people arrived later, but not a lot. So the same fucking core people, 80 some people.
Then people would shift among Penna.
Some people went to the vocational school, but generally we knew the same group of 80-ish people our whole lives. Like our childhood, we knew them, and we still know them on Facebook and all this stuff. So, and then some are just, but it's very blue collar.
No,
it's a very blue collar area.
I'm aware. I'm not on Facebook much, so I think that's maybe just speaking for me.
There's a big German American fest going on right now. Every August, the German American fest. Everybody goes and gets drunk. Yeah, the gaff.
I heard people referring to it. Oh, you're gonna go to gaff. Oh, I've never gone to gaff. Oh, I'm a gaffer. And I'm just like looking at it. I was like,
that's a big thing there, and people from Northwood all go to that. It's in Oregon. So
since childhood,
it's like a blue collar. There's like a refinery.
I was wanting to state that there's like
glass factory in Toledo. Like it's very blue collar.
Multiple refineries.
Yeah. So that's the kind of people, working class type people,
and all that. Nothing caught on fire, but the lake turned green because
we're right by the Lake Erie. We're on the west part of Lake Erie. And so I have since met people from Buffalo and Erie.
Isn't it cool?
Toronto. Everybody I meet that's on Lake Erie, Pittsburgh. I mean, we're the same type of people. Dude, like the lake people are the same. Like Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey on their podcast talk about the lake people because they're from Cleveland.
Oh yeah, dude.
the lake people.
Oh yeah,
like when they go to Buffalo,
people
they're
of the
like, that
lake.
feels like home to us from
Oh
Cleveland.
yeah, dude.
And so Toledo, Cleveland, Buffalo, all feels
It's
the
all along the
same.
lake, dude.
Yeah, everybody,
And
big lake, Great Lakes people are just a
yeah,
different fucking people. There's a
well,
lot of them
no, it's
down here
just
in North Carolina where I live. There's a
yeah.
euchre night at the local bar, and when you go, it's everybody's from Ohio and Michigan, and we're all
Well,
lake fucking people, and we're all the
you said a
same.
euchre night, dude.
Yeah, it's a euchre night.
It's
Yeah,
a
so
euchre
if you
night.
know how to play that
There's
euchre is what you
there's
do in high school.
you
You play
know
euchre. You
there's
know.
lake people, river people, but all look, lake people aren't river people. River people aren't lake people, but they're all valley people.
Yeah, yeah, we're all kind of similar.
What
Ozarks is similar to us. It's just like a water
Ozarks, really?
Ozark. Well, the show Ozark feels like home to
Well,
me.
yeah, no, I mean they're like neighbors, dude. They're
I
like
don't know shit about
cousins.
fuck. You know, my wife's
Yeah,
from
but no, I'm not saying.
Missouri,
I'm just
so
saying.
she feels the same.
Yeah, but no, I'm
Kinda.
saying there's a kinship between your,
Yeah.
Ozarks and the
Well, that's the
Ozarks
thing.
and
It's like there's the Great Lakes, and then there's the zoom out. Like Lake Erie, I feels like even different than the rest of the Great Lakes. But then you
well,
zoom
yeah,
out,
each lake is
then you have the
itself.
Canadian people in the Great Lakes, and you have the
Yeah,
Chicago people, and
yeah.
Grand Rapids, and all that. We're all similar type people. And then
Well,
you
yeah,
zoom out, and then you got
yeah.
Illinois and
Well, that's what I'm
Indiana,
saying. You got
Wisconsin. All these
lakes,
people are
you got
similar.
valley.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just a northern different thing where you
dude. One of my
people like
favorite
have
things,
each other's backs. You have to work. You have to have snow tires, and you have to like dig people out
dude.
of
I started,
snow
I started a,
banks.
I started a joyful argument between a dude from Cleveland and a dude from Buffalo about who had worst winners.
Yeah.
Is one of my is a joyful memory I have.
Well, I moved to
You know,
Chicago for 5 years. When I got there, everybody was like, "Oh, you don't know about Chicago winters." I was like, "Motherfucker, I went to college in Bowling Green, Ohio.
yeah.
Lake Erie is just as bad as
Mm.
Lake Michigan. Same
Lake Erie, and
shit,
then you get down into the frozen swamplands.
same fucking thing. It's cold. It's
Yeah,
cold
dude.
as fucking cold." So anyway, that said, I live in North Carolina now. I'm tired. I was tired of the cold. I moved
Oh, dude,
down
you've
here,
hated
and
the
I
cold for a long time.
fucking hate it.
You hate it. You
But now it's
openly
so
hated
fucking
the
hot
cold.
here that I'm starting to miss the cold a little bit. It's
Dude,
weird. I can't believe I'm
don't
saying that.
it was in the high 80s, low 90s today.
Yeah, so it was hotter.
It's only supposed to get in the mid 60s tonight. So
Yeah, it was.
we had last week was nice. Last week was like a fall preview.
Yeah, that's what we had too. It was nice and cool the last few days. I've
Yeah.
been opening the
We're
windows.
fucked for about a week and a half.
Anyway, so that's the origin of where we come from. So we're in this small little town, Northwood, where it's out tiny elementary schools that go into one. And our elementary school doesn't even exist anymore.
Nope.
The Lark school is gone. Not enough
Dude,
people kept having the kids. Nobody moves there
many
anymore.
things that I did don't exist anymore.
But we grew up and here in second grade. We met in second grade.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
it was the summer before second grade, dude.
Summer before second grade, he
Yeah,
says.
because Brett moved. He wasn't in second grade with us. No, he was in second grade with us.
He wasn't in third grade because second
He
grade
wasn't
was
in
the
third
big
grade.
crayon incident. And
Yeah,
let me tell you, this is where our friendship changed. The big 64-pack crayon incident of
dude.
second grade, Mrs. Crane's class.
I
Who,
do
if
enjoy my crayons.
yeah, if you
Who was
want to go
Aaron's
back
mom?
to a previous Friendcheck episode with Aaron Crane, his mom was pivotal in our meeting
Yes.
because I
Well,
met this guy named Brett Burns who lived one street over from me. And Steve, I didn't know, lived 2 doors down from him previously.
No, I lived next door to him.
No, next door to him?
I was his next door neighbor.
But at this point, you used to live next to him, and then
Yeah.
you moved to an apartment because your parents
Yeah.
got divorced.
Nope. My parents were divorced when I was 2.
Oh, they were?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
so you just lived there with your mom and Kelly at that house?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys downsized to an apartment later.
Well, Reagan got nominated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the banks and everything foreclosed.
You and I tell people that we were
sidekicks.
we were two
Lackeys.
sidekicks of the same bully.
He was kind of a
And
bully.
the bully, I don't know, I just call him a bully because that's
Well, I mean,
the crayon incident makes him a bully. But
Well, I mean,
he
dude,
was a cool kid. He was cooler
He
than
and I
us.
used to fight a lot. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a lot
You
of
and Brett
questioning
did?
of why. Yeah, I think there's a lot of questioning of why I was his friend.
So there's a guy named Brett Burns that moved away in. Did he move away in
Wait,
third grade? Before third grade? Maybe
I
second or third?
think because third grade we were in Miss Ray's, and I don't remember him
He was
after
not
second
there.
grade.
I
don't
think he
remember him.
left between second and third grade. But so Brett Burns was a guy who went to Perrysburg. which
He's
is
a good
close
guy.
to where we were. It seems like a nice guy.
He
I think
moved
he's real
He moved
successful.
on up.
We're
He moved
connected on
up.
LinkedIn. I think he's a very important person. Like he has
I
a good
imagine-
job, is successful.
I
We are
imagine he
not.
moved on up.
But
Whoa.
he
Are you?
I'll speak for myself. I am not. So he is, but anyway, he was, I don't say he was a bully. Like he didn't just go around beating people up and picking on people, but he was cooler than us. And we were like just lackeys that followed him. Like, but he would, I think he pulled the Dr. Doom mask of George Myshak. Like, I think he would pull his mask and snap it.
Yeah, no. I think I would have done that.
Did you do that too?
I probably did.
So
that.
George will be a future guest.
I think I was kind of a bully. I think I was
maybe
kind of
you were a bully too. But I mean, but anyway, he was like a leader and we were followers.
Oh no, definitely. I was.
But I don't think I didn't know him that much, but I was new to hanging out with him. But he lived right behind my house, and that's where
but you were on the other street, and we were.
I was on Dilrose, so I didn't know you at all. But I was a little brother of a whole bunch of guys,
Yeah,
and so
the adults in my world knew you.
Okay,
like the ones that could have a concept of a street over.
Yeah,
like my mom and my sister.
Yeah, because I don't remember you ever existing until second grade. Like,
no, I don't.
I'm sure you did.
I like that's far enough ago. Like, I don't know. I still think you should finish the Crane incident story.
Okay, so we'll get to the Crane incident story of second grade, Mrs. Crane's class, who was Aaron Crane's mom, and we talked about. We apologized to Aaron about if his life was rough. That we were bad kids. So we're both these lackeys of this guy, Brett Burns. And Brett Burns is a cool kid automatically. Even in second grade, there were cool kids and not so cool kids. We were pretty cool, but we were definitely cooler than some people.
I think we were cool by association.
By association. We were like hanging out with this guy. I was like, oh, I like this guy. Oh, this guy's cool. We went to his house and listened to Weird Al. I
still think my sister was cooler than she gives herself credit for.
Okay.
No, I think I may have. I think we may have had some. I think both of us had some older siblings.
Well, and someone that comes with you, you come into even in elementary school, like, oh, you're so and so's little brother. Oh, you're so and so's little brother. They have a status, and you're that. Yeah. So we're these little brothers.
You had two ahead of you.
And Brett had Brandon, who was just only a year ahead of us. But people knew the Burns brothers. They were kind of like athletic or whatever. So we kind of hung out with this Brandon guy. We listened to a Weird Al. I brought a Weird Al tape to Brandon's house.
Yep.
And that's when I first met you. We all listened to this Weird Al tape. Both sides.
Too. Yeah, that's where
Brandon
that's my first. Yeah.
And I remember you smoking a cigarette in his basement that was in an ashtray.
It was a whole other thing. Yeah.
But here we are. We're in second grade, and this is the turning point where Steve and I became friends. Well, best friends, because we were both lacking. We both hung out with this guy named Brett, right? Brett Burns. Yeah. He was the leader. He was like Nelson Muntz, and we were like the two, sidekick bullies that helped him bully people.
Something to his name, so you're not like outing him.
Brett Burns. That's fine. Brett Burns in Perrysburg. He's now the CEO of whatever he is. No, I'm just, maybe I'll edit it. I don't know.
Oh no,
Brett. Anyway, so Brett, Steve, and Joe, we all kind of hung out. In second grade, I will say, was a rare thing because our school experimented that year in mixing classes. Mm-hmm. They wanted to save money, I guess, on teachers or whatever, and so I don't know if
they wanted to.
I don't know if they laid off half the teachers and did this, but they combined. The only time I remember this happening, they combined grades. Like second and third grade was all in one class, and it was fucking chaos. So there's like,
I think there was an overflow too. I think there was like more of one than the other.
I don't know what happened. Maybe we should have Crane on here and find out what happened. Why did they lay off people? Or was
maybe
it just
we should have Amy interview Mrs. Crane about what the fuck?
Maybe just have Mrs. Crane just be like, what? Tell us what was going on then. Like, why did they combine? Why did they suddenly combine? Because I remember there being a lot of hubbub. Parents weren't happy. They were like, why are you? The class sizes went from 30 kids to 60 kids or something like that. Yeah. So all of a sudden, us in elementary school, now there's all these third graders in our class with us. The class above us are now in our classroom with us, and one teacher still has to control everybody. And it was chaos. It was almost like I remember having the feeling like, oh shit, there's nobody has any idea what's going on here, so it's a fucking free for all. And that's when we started like selling paper tacos to other kids. Like,
I was pretty proud of that.
Tacos and give us a quarter and take kids lunch money. And give them a piece of paper.
Didn't take it. They gave it to us.
They gave it to us.
They gave
I
it
think
to
there
us.
was probably some bullying involved. There's some kids not getting
it.
their ice cream or their milk because they felt like they had to give Brett and you and me their money.
Maybe.
We were made a racket. We made a racket. It was like a mafia thing. Anyway, so it was chaos that year because they combined the grades, and so there was all kinds of trouble. There's all kinds of mayhem. There wasn't a lot of supervision. It was like Lord of the Flies. There was a teacher there, but she couldn't. I mean, it was
that's how I felt. Sitcom, but yeah, no,
yeah, it was basically Lord of the Flies with a teacher trying to keep in touch with everybody, and she was very stressed, I think, and so that's what we apologize to Aaron for. Anyway, but so meanwhile, there was a day where Brett decided Steve came in with there was a new 64 pack.
It was not
of crayons.
Like,
might even be more, 120 pack. I don't know. It was huge.
It was
not everybody had this. It had a pencil. It had a crayon sharpener in the box.
It was just big enough to have the crayon sharpener.
It had like too many crayons. Nobody needed that many crayons.
No,
but he had
I have a lot of crayons today.
He had the Cadillac of crayons. Like he had the best fucking crayons, and he was like, look at this fucking crayon that I have all these crayons, and it's got a sharpener, and I'm great, and I'm better than you guys because you guys
I was lording it over you.
I don't remember I honestly don't remember you lording
the crayons in front of you,
but you may have made Brett feel bad.
I don't know if I was doing that, but
I remember just thinking it was cool, and I was like, this is great.
No, I definitely was probably very stoked to have those crayons.
You were probably excited about those crayons, and I remember thinking, oh, that was cool, and I don't think you gave off any impression that you wouldn't share those crayons. Like I think you're like, this means we all get crayons because our good buddy has crayons.
At least with the three of us, yeah.
But anyway, something led to Brett being jealous of your crayon haul.
Yeah,
and he decided, like right before class was about to start, I think he knocked Steve's crayons off the desk, and they all went flying everywhere, all over the floor.
Yeah.
Now this has been so long. I've told the story so many times that I honestly don't remember any of this at all.
Oh, dude,
I'm just retelling it like as
at this point, like
so
the reason why I kept on. I think the thing that I kept on like interrupting and then telling you to continue was just because it's been so long. I wanted to see where my mind went with it.
Yeah,
I assume I wept.
None of this is coming back.
I don't think I
feel like you were crying.
I think I was probably crying.
I think you were crying.
Like I'm pretty sure
none of this might be true anymore. Maybe none of this happened.
I don't know how. Like I remember the later crayon story.
Oh, there's another crayon story.
Well, there's a crayon story involving Gwen.
Oh, I remember the school box. Her falling on her school box.
Not her falling on her school box. I remember her slapping mine off.
I don't know anything about that one. Okay, so anyway, the crayons go everywhere. Steve's upset, and Brett's like, "Come on, Joey, let's go. We don't need him anymore." And I was like, "That's not very cool." And I remember looking. Now, none of this, I'm sure, is true, but in my mind, I looked at Brett, this guy, this is the cool guy, leader guy, should stay with him. And then now I've got status over Steve. Like now, maybe I'm the head second bully. You know, I could just take this. And I looked at Steve crying, picking up his crayons, and again. None of this probably ever happened.
Felt pity.
And I probably would just went along with Brett, maybe in real life, but in my mind, I think I stopped and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to help him pick up these crayons.
Well, I mean, you can't say I think I would have gone along with Brett in real life.
Yeah.
Because last I checked, regardless of what we consider to be happy or status, this is real.
I think something made us start being friends. Maybe it's just him moving away.
Well,
because I don't remember that. Like,
we're
so little, we don't remember the actual.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, like, to me, the crayon incident was probably where I wrote off Brett.
Okay, maybe.
You know, because
maybe stop hanging out with us.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a point where I hung out with you more than hung out with Brett, but I do remember there are points where I was hiding from everyone.
But again, we're 7 at this time. 6 and 7 is second grade,
and we're trying to grasp at memories.
When you're fucking 6, you don't even know what the world is yet.
But you touched on it. You've told this story so many times.
I've told this. He knocks over the crayon. Steve's upset on the floor, trying to collect all of his crayons, and that's a lot of crayons. And then I chose to be Steve's friend at that moment.
I've been grateful ever since.
And so I helped him collect the crayons, I think, and then we were like, you know what, stick together, you and me, maybe, and like just fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And then he moved away because we were like, fuck you, we don't need you anymore.
I don't know. I don't think that was the
No, we didn't
reason.
say
I think the adults had reasons.
Yeah, maybe the adults had reason to move away. He's probably already moving away. Maybe he already moved. I don't know. This is just like an embellished story, but there was something with
it's embellished just because we're trying to remember, and our
Yeah,
brain is just
we're almost 50.
Yeah.
I don't know what fucking
Almost
happened.
50.
But I like to tell that story, and then I turned it up into a stand-up bit at one point, and it wasn't that funny.
Well, I mean, I'd hope it was touching.
But it's recorded here, but I know it was in Mrs. Crane's class, and it was the combined second and third grades. I know that. Yeah. And then we went into third grade as best buds. In fact, I actually quit playing baseball because I wanted to hang out with you throughout Little League. Yeah, it was like Little League was coming by. And I was like, I'd rather spend my summer just hanging out with this dude who likes to just fuck around.
Yeah, dude. Was that when we were playing the Marvel game? Or was that the next summer?
I don't think Marvel was out yet. I think we were into like stuffed animals and like
we were
fucking around with them.
Talk shows. Yeah,
stuffed animals. We would like. I had a bunch of stuffed animals. He had a bunch of stuffed animals. We'd bring them all together. We'd make Johnny Carson.
Would make like Muppet talk shows.
Big Muppet talk shows.
Because you had a Kermit.
I had a Kermit.
Yeah.
I had an R2D2. I had a Chewbacca. I had a Gurgi. I had a Gurgi. And we would combine our stuffed animals, just fuck around all summer. And when I was in Little League, and then after T-ball, they were like, "This is going to be serious. And if you'd like to not have fun this summer and focus on baseball, then stay on this team. If you want to just screw around and have a great summer, you should quit." And I was like, "Well, I want to screw around and have a great summer."
Dude, that's handy. Good on that coach.
So I quit.
That's like, that's like laid it out.
And I remember Rob Jones this day, like Rob Jones the next in school was like, "Why'd you quit, man? Like, you were good. Like, we needed you on the team or whatever." And I was like, "I want to fuck around." He said it was going to be a terrible summer.
I'm sorry you gave up your baseball dreams.
It might be your fault that I'm not a professional basebal player.
Well, we can just say it's my fault. That
I don't think I was that good.
Well, I mean, no. Here's the thing: if we ever dimension slide,
we'll never know.
We see like, and we're like, "Oh, wonder where we are." And we see like a picture of you. Like, remember when this dude was good at baseball? It's like, oh shit.
There might be another dimension where I was like, okay, I'm going to stick out. And then I made the major leagues. And I got famous and rich. And then I killed a man.
Well, you don't know if you killed the man.
So you may have kept me from killing a man.
Well, maybe it was.
Maybe I got rich and I got addicted to coke.
Yeah, but maybe it was just a car accident. Maybe, maybe you fucking caused.
I'm trying to think, like, who's the most tragic baseball player that's like a bad person?
That's like a bad person?
Yeah, like maybe I would have turned into like Mark McGuire. Is he a bad? He's doing roids. I mean, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and Joe.
Dude, if you were jacked out on roids,
all jacked out on roids.
Yeah, you'd just be like this, like.
And maybe you prevented that from happening.
Well,
so thank you.
I'll say maybe a small part, but you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for keeping me off of roids. But Rob Jones I think he's still mad at me today for quitting that baseball.
I hope he's not mad.
Oh, he's pissed. We're gonna have him on.
He always seems pretty.
Oh no, he's furious because I quit baseball. Right, we'll bring it up on our 30th reunion coming up in October.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about it. You coming to that?
Well, are you going to be there?
Yeah, October 12th, baby.
All right.
Central Park, Northwood, Ohio. Everybody, be there. So let's tell some specific stories. Now they all know that we went to college together, high school, middle school, everything. We've got some great. We told the Cran story.
We didn't bring up Belfry. We didn't bring up George Namick, who was a teacher 2 years in a row.
So George Namick might be listening. He was a teacher.
I hope so. I think we like to bitch about the teachers we had, but I don't think any of them were particularly bad.
I think we had some great teachers.
Yeah, I think we had some good teachers.
Beverly Dzini was this Polish lady.
I never had Miss.
I had her. She was.
This seems like as good a place as any to take a break from this episode of Friendcheck and listen to an advertisement. After all, Steve and Joe are babbling at this point. When we come back, we'll pick up with the story of Belfry, a stuffed bat these two jackasses used to play with in 4th grade.
Hey, Grandma. I wish there was a podcast that helps me understand nerd stuff. I love Marvel movies. But sometimes I don't understand it all.
Oh, you're in luck, my dear, because there is. It's called the Nerd School Podcast. School with a K. It's by History for Jerks, and it stars the mighty art star who has a very sexy voice. He teaches a jackass named Joe all about nerdom, focusing on the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the help of Professor Andy, a former comic book journalist, and the great badass, TBJ. She's one cool customer. Anywho, listen to the gang walk us all through the MCU and other nerd stuff on the Nerd School Podcast by History for Jerks.
Holy shit, Grandma, that sounds fucking great.
The Nerd School Podcast by History for Jerks. Download it today wherever you get your fucking podcasts. And now, back to this episode of Friendcheck, where we hear more about the origin of Steve and Joe's friendship. Plus, Steve walks us through the details of getting his Prince Albert, which Joe loves to mention.
So Belfry was there was a point in 4th or 5th grade where you and I, both of our parents didn't want us to be home alone.
Together,
yeah. So they called the school and were like, hey, we're both working moms, single moms, and these two kids are home alone because my brother was in middle school, so I didn't have. They're like, they shouldn't be alone. Can they just stay after school for a little bit?
Yeah,
just for an hour or something. Help out
like,
and do
what weird teachers' age sometimes.
Yeah, so the teachers were like, yeah, I guess they can.
Yeah.
But the teachers didn't want us there, so they would just leave us alone in the classroom. What a weird situation. So somehow our parents arranged for us to do that. And then we would just fuck around. You had a bat named Belfry that would it would make noise if you shook it.
Yeah, it would shake it, make a noise. I think I got it through Avon. I got a lot of cool stuffed animals through Avon. I can only remember Belfry and Charlie Barley. But
the Belfry was a bat. It was a stuffed animal bat that made noise if you shook it. And we would just play catch with it.
I mean, they have rabies. They're wild animals, but they're pollinators and they're good to have around. Always been a fan of bats.
Bats are
unrelated
pollinators?
to Batman. Yeah.
I don't know bats were pollinators. I learned something on this podcast. Aww. So we would just fuck around in our classroom while the teacher didn't supervise us at all because the teacher was pissed they had to keep us there, I think.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, George Namick, I don't remember him supervising us at all. And then after an hour, he'd be like, okay, you guys can go home now.
Being pissed. Yeah, no, I don't remember. I don't particularly.
And then we go home and our family.
I had a hard time with emotions, like reading emotions on adults.
Yeah, I want to talk to my mom about that. I'm like, how did you arrange that? Because that was also the time I missed a lot of school by just faking stomach aches because I didn't want to.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, we often would just not go to school.
That's what I wonder. Was that anxiety? Did I not want to go as anxiety, or I just not feel like going?
I know some of mine was probably anxiety, and a lot of it, there was a part of it knowing that if I got sick on your front porch, my mom would say, "Yeah, fuck it. If Joe's sick, he can stay over there."
Okay.
I think my mom leaned on your mom a bit due to our friendship.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's funny because you don't know so much as a kid or what.
Oh no, but
the decisions were because
So how old were we? I had like a teenage sister who
were in 5th grade, so 4th grade maybe.
Yeah, we're talking about Namick is 4th and 5th grade.
So you're 6 in 1st grade, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 years old.
Yeah,
I remember there was more than one day where everybody in my house stayed home. Like all my brothers were sick.
Oh.
Yeah, we all just stayed home and fucked around.
Dude, I think
really sick.
I think that was the day I jumped on Brian. Like I think like Brian threw you and I jumped on his back.
I don't know how we pulled
in a
that
nose
off.
breaker.
I remember there was a day where all my brothers were stayed home.
It was children
just
ganging up on adults, dude.
I guess.
I mean, you're an adult. You have 2 kids.
I'm an adult now. I think about like my kids. They got away with a few. There's been a few times where
but
I know you're not sick, but I'm tired of fighting you. Just stay home.
Exactly. And now think about you being the only adult in the room.
Yeah.
With all the bills to pay.
Yeah, right.
With
you still have time to fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there isn't time to fuck with it. You gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Because it's not like your boss is gonna be cool with you showing up late.
Yeah, that's it. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we grew up with a Belfry and that and and I feel like there's other like
Well, no, we
stories.
could go. I mean, we can go on about stuffed animals a lot. You said you could get a half hour out of a cock ring.
Well, what
So
I
I
want to
imagine
know,
we
yeah,
can
you
get
got
at
a
least
Prince Albert,
15
and I
minutes.
was not in touch with you daily when you got a Prince Albert
Oh,
tattoo.
no,
Or
that was when I
you had
lived
your
with your
penis
brother.
pierced.
I did.
You lived in LA when you that
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, I had it done at ST Tattoo, which is the studio that I'm pretty sure I think it's Mike Muir that owns it.
Okay. So
I
fast
think
forward to
one
way
of the
after
guys.
college.
Oh
Steve
yeah,
moved out to LA with my brother Andy,
true.
from the Nerd School podcast, Professor Andy. You guys lived together, and that's where you got a Prince Albert. So
He was earning his degree.
what made you decide to have your penis head pierced?
Uh, the best word I can use is curiosity.
Okay.
That's it. You know.
So you didn't have a girlfriend
Nope.
at the time that was like, please
Nope. Actually, I was, in
pierce
my
your penis hair.
opinion, in my head, I was at risk of sticking my dick too many places.
Okay.
So I had to do something to inhibit that.
So you thought that might prevent you from sleeping around.
I would have an open wound to take care of. It would be a bad idea to put a condom on.
Okay. So you go to this place. It's a tattoo shop, I assume.
Yeah, it's a tattoo and piercing shop that has some wonderful boards on display because it's very skater centric.
And did you walk in there like just casually? They're like, hey, why don't you get your penis pierced? Or did you go in there thinking, I'm getting my penis head pierced today?
I was going in there with the intention of getting a Prince Albert.
Okay, you walk in there with
I like the dark of my camera just because I'd rather look at you than look at the light.
I love this. Like you go into this place thinking, I'm gonna get a Prince Albert today.
Yeah.
Only so Joe brings it up 100 times. No, that's not why.
That
so you go in there,
reason.
But it
was something that's like,
hello, sir. I would like a Prince Albert, and they're like, why? Do they say why the fuck do you want a Prince Albert? Or they're just like, okay,
if that's your job,
yeah,
you gonna ask why?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Why the fuck?
Then
why the fuck would
didn't.
you want to do that to your penis head,
You
dude?
didn't ask why.
Ow, fucking ow is all I would say. I would be like, ow, get out of my store.
Yeah, well then
That's what I
you
would
shouldn't
do.
offer it. I
That's
mean, I
why
think
I'm not a
I
Prince
mean,
Albert
if I
guy.
didn't see a price list
Yeah,
with it on it, I probably would have asked.
and if you don't mind me asking, how much does a Prince Albert cost back then?
I don't remember.
Like, give me a ballpark. Like under $100, over 200.
No, dude, I'd be willing to say with tip it was within 100.
Okay, okay. And so
I do like tipping.
Is there any concern about this person seeing your penis or touching your penis?
No.
No, you're not worried about that at all.
Well, I mean, that's a judgment call you make when you walk into the shop.
Okay.
When you walk into you walk to I mean, you've gotten tattoos. I don't know how you chose the shop. I don't know what thought you put into it.
Not much.
But I am pretty sure you knew the guys because I knew the guys.
Yeah, I think the first one you knew the guy, so I just trusted you.
Yeah.
The second one, Crystal got me for a party, and then the other one was in Chicago. So it was the guy who gave Dennis Rodman his tattoo. So
there you go.
I did that as me and Ryan Burkett got tattoos together.
Oh, that's fucking dope, dude. I didn't know that you and Ryan got one.
Yeah, in Chicago. Yeah. Me, Ryan Burkett, and Abner went in together.
Nice.
And Abner got the Dave Matthews
that's when you
and then he didn't take care of it right, so it got all scabby and shitty.
Oh.
Anyway, but back to the Prince Albert. So you go in there, and you was like, did it matter who walked in there? Like if you walked in there and did it matter if it was a guy or a girl or whatever, or not to you?
At that point, it didn't because it didn't come up. Okay. I'll state this just because we're going through and dissecting, and I can't say for sure. I'm going to get a Prince Albert.
Yeah,
it was more along the lines of walking, clearing my head, and then remembering, like getting piercings, tattoos. At least for me, they offer me a quick take to a good state of mind, a clear state of mind.
It just does something for you in your brain.
Yeah, there's a level of enjoyment. There's a level.
And you had already had your nipples pierced at this point, right?
Yeah, both my nipples were pierced.
Oh God.
The first nipple was pierced as a favor to a friend.
Yeah.
The second nipple was pierced while I lived in LA.
Okay.
It was while you and Hank were out there.
Okay.
We went to a restaurant.
Really? And you got your nipple pierced out there?
Yeah, we went to a restaurant on Venice Beach.
I remember. I was under the weather.
Dude, you were all fucked up.
Good.
You were barely there.
Yeah.
Like mentally.
Yeah, I know when I went out there, I had a cold and it got worse. And
dude, you were like the West Coast was not a fan.
It was not good. Well, and I only packed, I was thinking, oh, California, it's like fucking Bermuda. So I only packed like tank tops and shorts, and it was like February or something. Yeah. And so it was fucking cold. It's like I thought it was hot here all the time. What the fuck? And I was freezing the whole time. Yeah. And I had a cold too. So, the plane for 4 hours. And then some kid, there's some lady next to me on the airplane, 4.5 hours on the airplane, and she had a kid. And she didn't buy a ticket for her. And so he was a lap kid, but he was too big to sit on her lap. So he ate Doritos off my knee the whole time.
That's fucked up.
Anyway,
that's a bad
anyway,
trip,
so we're
dude.
back
That's
to
the
penis slicing shop.
Albert.
You're getting a Prince Albert. Like, please give me a Prince Albert, because you had already had your nipples pierced, and that gave you some sort of escape or some sort of thing that you liked. You were seeking
not escape. It was
a comfort.
A state of mind that allowed an event to bring focus, because what I lacked in LA was focus.
Okay.
Because the situation I found myself in, too much focus countered the overall, I don't want to say goal, but the overall state of being.
Okay. So you were in
I was on borrowed time when I
You're
was
feeling
in LA.
some type of way there. And so you were like the natural progression.
Some type of way.
The natural progression was two nipples, then a penis, right?
Not natural progression. It was just the when I walked into my first nipple piercing, which was I was going to this tattoo shop because I was friends with the artist. The piercer had an appointment, so she couldn't go to lunch. She had an appointment to give us an example piercing to the Department of Health so she could get her license renewed. The guy canceled because he was sick.
Okay.
You don't get pierced when you're sick. I was healthy. She just kind of shrugged. She's like, I can pierce an ear. And I was like, I didn't want my ears pierced. I didn't want my ear pierced the first time. The second time, yeah. The first time, no.
Okay.
She's like, and then one of the co-owners and another artist, he was the one that was like, oh, PA. He just kept on repeating PA. So flash forward to this point in time when I'm looking for a tattoo, a piercing, something to give me focus.
Someone had already planted the Prince Albert in your head.
The Prince Albert was pre-planted. I don't blame the man. I just give credit where credit's due.
Okay.
He would be fine with it.
So now you're here. You're going.
Now I'm here.
You've established. You're going to
tattoo.
I'm getting a Prince Albert. Yes,
I'm getting something.
Let's do it. Here's a transaction.
When you're getting piercing, all right, Prince Albert. We both chuckle. We go to the room,
and then you just yank it down and stand there, or you lay on it.
No, I reclined.
Yeah,
on a nice spot. I was wearing
just like
baggy
pull
shorts,
it out.
Baggy. I chose to drop to the knees.
Yeah.
And
then you drop to the knees and then sit down on a thing.
Well, I was reclined.
Okay, you're already reclined, and then you pulled
reclined. Yeah.
Okay, and then it's out.
There's a paper. Yeah.
There's a paper, like you're laying on paper.
Well,
like a doctor's office.
Thing. Yeah, they hooked me up with those some.
And do they numb anything?
No.
So you're just laying there with your dick out, and they just grab your dick and I'm thinking like a 3-hole punch type of thing, or like a hole puncher. Like
no, it's Is it
a needle that they stick through, like ear piercing, and they just grab your penis and just stick that through
whatever you want. There's a variety of piercings one can do to their genitalia.
And is there just blood gushing out everywhere, or is it just?
I don't think it bled too bad.
So they didn't do it real fast and then put the jewelry in there and that's done, like a matter of seconds, basically.
Yeah.
And did you go
react.
fucking
God? I didn't blink.
Nothing.
my response was, "Oh, really?
What is your fucking penis head?"
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's your penis head. Like you can't even,
dude. I mean, if you
couldn't even
think,
discuss my penis head a mile away without me.
Yeah, I know, dude. I remember your reaction after my first nipple piercing.
Oh god, nipples same way,
dude.
Like,
I remember
look at my
like,
nipples without me
I
shuddering.
know at the time when I showed you my first nipple piercing in class after I got it done.
Yeah,
we were in college.
Uh-huh.
I'd known you for so long. That was the first time I ever saw all the color drop out of your face. I immediately regretted my decision of showing you my bloody nipple.
Like I don't remember being aware of your Prince Albert until my only memory of it is Chicago when you came for the pub crawl or whatever, I think. Possibly maybe it's pub crawl, but I remember being the Wild Goose. I was like, "You have a Prince Albert on your penis?"
Yeah, that was the
you're like,
crawl.
and I was like, "Get it out!" And you were in a kilt, and you did. And you got it out at the bar and put it on the table. And I was like, "Oh, you really got your penis out?" But
yeah, no,
why, dude? Why?
Yeah.
And then you put it away or whatever. But still, I was like, why did you do that? I don't know. Shits and giggles.
Well, essentially, the story's never going to be satisfying. Is people,
this whole story has been satisfying, and I think this is probably at least 30 minutes.
Well, all right, let me say this: there's a velvet Jesus. There's a black velvet Jesus.
What
on the wall?
No, there
Jesus,
was.
Well, it was Jesus on black velvet
When you got it done.
Yeah,
that's a good detail,
isn't it?
So was it? You didn't say. Was it a lady or a fella that did it?
Was a dude.
It was a dude. What was his name? Do you remember?
Nope.
You'll never see him again.
Never is a big word. You know how I feel.
Okay, now let's backtrack a little bit from this point. You were in LA then. Let's back up to when we were in college and talk about when we lived together in college. We were night guards at the dormitory at Bowling Green State University.
At a few dorms.
At a couple different dorms. Like summer, we'd work summers and sometimes we're at summer. But I want to hone in on summer at Prout Hall. One summer, I don't know, it was 96, 97.
It had to have been 96 just because I think it was the first summer we lived on Main Street.
And there was a guy.
Because August is a big month for the House of Fun.
It was, yeah. There was a guy we worked with. And so in the summer, there's not a lot of kids there. There's not a lot on campus. And I feel like they would almost like only one dorm was open during the summer. Like if you want to go to summer school, you got to live in this one dorm.
Yeah, it was one dorm of night for students. There's like dorms were specific dorms for specific reasons, I think.
And we worked at Prout.
Yes.
And there was a
dorm
guy
I lived in for a hot second.
And you lived there. Yeah, you lived there. Who was the guy that worked with us with long hair that watched snuff films? Michael Turkin.
I think he watched snuff film.
Huh?
I don't think he watched snuff films. I think it was just one.
He maybe watched one snuff film once.
But I mean, he could have. It was early internet.
It was Turkin or Turgin?
Turgin, I think.
Michael Turgin. Anyway, we got to find that guy because he was a cool guy. He was older than us. I know.
Dude, he was pretty cool.
My memory of him is vague, so I just implant Nikki Sixx as my memory of him.
Was
he kind of Nikki Sixx-esque?
A cleaner Nikki Sixx. He had like wonderful long straight black hair. He was the first dude I ever saw that wore like a headband.
Yeah, he was like Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. There's a small chance he actually was Nikki Sixx.
That is an infinitesimal chance.
There's a very infinitesimal chance that he was Nick. So basically, we worked with Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
At all.
No, he didn't. Because this was Nikki Sixx was super. This was 1996 or 7, so Nikki Sixx was already famous. So it wasn't him. This guy was Nikki Sixx-esque. He seemed like him.
If there was a vein of people would start from, think of a clean Nikki Sixx in college.
I feel like you were closer to him than anybody else. Like you guys were close.
We did have overlapping music tastes.
Okay.
I didn't like
he's like a tattoo guy, a piercing guy.
Made me laugh.
Yeah,
he had a fine assortment of rings.
So one time
clothing aesthetic.
I don't know why I want to fast forward to the 90s.
Story. Go on.
Yeah, this guy, he and I are working together one night, and we're just fucking around talking bullshit. Yeah, well, I didn't know he was watching snuff film yet because this crazy girl who was So there's these crazy. We called her Crazy Uma Thurman. I don't remember her name.
I think we just called her Crazy Uma.
She looked just like Uma Thurman.
It was because of Uma Thurman, but I think we just said Crazy Uma.
But there was also kids in the summers there was these kids that didn't quite get into school, but they had to prove it over the summer that they could. They're usually academic reasons, like they didn't have grades good enough to get into school, but if they did good the summer, they could get into their freshman year. So this girl was in that program. She wasn't great in school or whatever. And so she was just like, oh my God, I'm away at college. And she was just like, she was drinking all the time, go crazy party. And then she liked me. And so she would like come and make out with me all the time. And I'm a young college kid. And the girl looks like Uma Thurman wants to make out with me. Okay. And so like she would like want to make out with me right now. You know, we have to at least go like behind a dumpster and make out. And so one time I'm making out with her behind a dumpster. I'm supposed to be working, checking people in, but hardly anybody ever came. I'm making out with her behind a dumpster or in front of a dumpster. And Michael's inside. And, oh yeah, I got this. Go ahead and take a break. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a break with her. I'll see you later. Blah, 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 blah. Didn't do anything else. Didn't do anything bad. I was a gentleman. Just made out with her by a dumpster. And this cop that would come in every night would come in, campus cop, and talk to us. And he looked exactly like, we were comparing him to an actor, the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He had a red mustache and looked just like that guy. It's basically, that's who would play him in the film of this. And he comes in to say hi to me, and I'm like, she's attached to me, like humping me and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, hey man, how you doing? Oh, I can't stop doing that because she's super hot and whatever. And so he quickly realizes, okay, you're busy. And I'm like, I'm gonna get in trouble. But he didn't seem to care.
You're gonna say, I was gonna say.
So, but I'm worried that I'm worried that, oh my shit, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get in trouble because this cop saw me making out with this chick. And I didn't. He's trying to say hi to me, and I ignored him and kept making out with her because at the time I was like, yeah, I might get in trouble, but how often do you get to make out with Uma fucking Thurman? So I just keep making out with her, and I'm like, oh well, I gotta make a decision. I'm gonna keep making out with her. So he goes in to say hi to Michael, because every night he just said hi to the night guard. Hey, how's it going? So he went in with him, and then I see him walk out like almost immediately. And so I'm like, okay. And then she's done making out with me, whatever, goes off to wherever I walk her, wherever. I go back in, I'm like, dude, did cop guy, orange mustache guy, was he pissed? He was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna get fired. Like, he came to talk to me like he does every night, but I was making out with Uma Thurman, and I didn't want to stop making out with Uma Thurman. I just ignored him. And he was like, oh no, I don't know, but if he was pissed at you, he's probably pissed at me too, because I was watching this snuff film when he walked in. He walked in, saw this on the screen, and walked right out. I was like, oh fuck, we're talking to this guy every single night. And I was like, this cop that comes in and says hi to us was like, oh, hell's broken loose at Prout tonight. But then I don't remember if there's ever any consequences. So I don't know why I want to bring that story.
I think if there were consequences, you'd remember.
Okay.
You know, but the fact that you were a night guard in other places.
I don't remember if that was before or after the other night guarding.
No, it was during.
It was during. Well, then later we worked at Sterling's.
Yeah.
Sterling's store. He made donuts. I'd be the cashier.
Yeah.
And we all got our cigarettes for free there.
Yeah, I know. We all took our own out of the tobacco settlement.
Well, and we could give out hot dogs for free. Like, we could basically do whatever we wanted there. We all ate free sub sandwiches. I weren't supposed to. But the boss, the manager, was an older guy, probably our age now, would be passed out drunk on the floor half the time in the manager's office.
No, I still remember his last night. I thought I was in trouble when he came back to the back.
Yeah.
I was making donuts like I usually did, which was blaring music and stoned out of my mind. And he came back and just slammed a milk crate down on the back table and looked at me, and I was like, oh, and I just went over and I turned on the radio, and he narrowed his eyes. So I just kind of left it low and just went about working. And then I just turned around and just kept working.
That was it for
him to yell me. And I heard him just like shuffling back and forth between the cooler, and I looked back around. He's like, all right, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you later, Steve. I was like, later, Terry. And he just like took a milk crate full of liquor and left.
Did we even sell liquor there?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we sold, it wasn't a beer cave, but we had beer, we had liquor.
We did? I don't
remember.
remember
We had boonies, we had Smirnoff.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he just stole a bunch of liquor and that was his last
he
night?
just walked out with a bunch. Just walked out with a crate full of liquor.
That was the last time we saw him.
I think that was his last night.
Sterling stores. Sterling people make the difference. And now it's a Circle K in Bowling Green.
The bakery is extra storage, but I think it still contains the appliances.
That's who we are. We're buds that
we're friends. That's all.
Lifelong friends that have shared a lifetime together, have a lot of mutual friends, a lot of shared experiences, but basically there's never been judgment or anything, and we're all just like, hey, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. I'll go. It's like, I feel like it's like Han Solo, Chewbacca. It's like,
thank you.
It's like Luke and Bo Duke. It's like,
well, I mean,
frickin' frack. It's like
Barney and Fred.
It's like, I don't know. It's just like anybody you can think of that just go together, like peanut butter and jelly. Like, it's just like
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, any of the duos, but we're both of them. It's just like that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, the Three Amigos. Like we're both all three amigos. That kind of thing. So it's just like yeah. So it's just a guy that I can trust forever that will always be here with me. And I like beer. He likes weed, but together it works out. It's like it's like peanut butter and chocolate. You got your peanut butter and my chocolate. You got your weed, my beer. You got my beer, your weed. We mix them together, and then we interview people from Facebook.
Yeah.
And do you want to say anything to the listeners before we go?
I want to say thank you. Thanks for taking time. Enjoy the day.
Thanks for the time. Enjoy the time.
Truman Ego Trip is the greatest band of all time. Buy their music. Also, American Timelines is a product of History for Jerks and a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. Find out more about History for Jerks at historyforjerks.com. Check out the Gruff and Loud Show on YouTube and the Nerd School podcast featuring the sexy art star. There's also a dumb t-shirt shop on Threadless, created by History for Jerks. You can buy a Gordon Jump shirt or an Edie McClurg shirt. It's really dumb and stupid.